Amputating Mike Wazowski's legs would be exactly the same as beheading him.
He'd turn into a Geodude. Now assume he can regenerate. But add Hydra rules. Does he grow his legs back? Or do his legs grow 2 replacement heads? There it is. The kind of post that reminds me why I sub here. Edit. Thanks for the gold. You king RBD. Quality post. Finally a good shower thought.
While the tallest man has experienced everyone else's height and the heaviest man has experienced everyone else's weight, the richest man almost definitely hasn't experienced everyone else's wealth.
The oldest man was once the youngest man. Does anybody know how well off Bezos was? Legitimate question. I don't think he was rich as a kid. But I don't know for certain and Google isn't being very helpful. I have experienced everyone's penis length. Lol, no, just kidding. There are people who are born shorter or lighter than those people. Andrew Carnegie came to this country with .05 in his pocket and died the richest man in the world.
Somewhere in the world there is one penguin who is the most gnarly, hardcore, badass penguin living by penguin standards, and to us it just looks like another chubby little bird.
Kowalski analysis. All hail most gnarly, hardcore, badass penguin. By the way, you might notice that in spite of your numerous distinctive features, I never gave you a name like Scar, Stripe, or Goliath. That's because, to me, you aren't special. You were special to rats. Now they're dead. I guess it was me you should have impressed. The Chuck Norris of penguins is actually a leopard seal. A heap of people on Google have searched penguins or panda chickens. Perhaps that's his cousin.
The rich used to pay peasants to entertain them, and now the peasants pay the rich to entertain them.
The peasants also provide data for the rich to sell to other rich people who use that information to get the peasants to pay more. One of the better shower thoughts I've seen in a while. Edit. How the hell did this comment get so many upvotes? Can't complain. I'm rolling in internet money now. $. The real rich are still the ones paying for actors to entertain them. They've also just figured out a way for other peasants to help finance the entertainment. How the turntables have cinema, entertainment for the poor by the rich, theater, for the rich by the poor, opera, for the rich by the rich, memes, for the poor by the poor.
Being a pet owner is like being a sugar daddy. You waste all of your money on keeping them happy, and the only thing they do is look cute and give you attention sometimes.
At least as a real sugar daddy, you don't have to pick up their poop. Give you attention sometimes. Sometimes found the cat owner. And #X200B. I don't fuck my pet though. My dog doesn't give me blowjobs. When I get her a fancy box of chocolates, she just drops dead. Edit. Thanks for my first silver, whoever you are. Edit. 2 to 2 silvers. Y'all be wildin' with my fricked up humor tonight. I appreciate it, guys. Edit. 3. Damn, y'all still be wildin'. Shit. Sometimes I feel like this as a parent.
There are probably a bunch of parents who think their children are fussy eaters, when in reality they're just horrible cooks.
I spent my entire life completely not understanding why anyone would like turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing, and all the other parts of Thanksgiving dinner. One year in college I didn't fly home and went to a friend's house instead and learned that Thanksgiving can be delicious when your grandmother isn't a terrible cook. I never understood my wife's food pickiness until I ate my mother-in-law's cooking. I thought I didn't like spinach until I was in my 20s. Guess what? There are ways to eat spinach other than bolted spinach steamed into a paste. Edit. To everyone who's telling me all the other great things to add to steamed to death spinach to make it taste good, I'm sure that's great. And that's not what we were eating. I hated steak as a kid and always wondered why everyone loves it. Turns out my dad overcooked it to hell's anus. My mom always praised me as an easy eater with everyone. Oh, Hank is so easy on eating. He can just grab 2 eggs, some rice and would be fine with that. Now thinking back, It's not that I'm an easy eater. It's just that my mom is an amazing cook. And I always think about this whenever I stay for dinner at any of my friends' home.
If you put a map of your country on the floor, there will be a point on the map that is touching the actual point it refers to.
I want to put pins in a map of all the places I've been. But first I have to travel to the top 2 corners so it won't fall down. Miss you, Mitch. It's called the "You Were Here" point. This works for a map of the entire world as well. This is called the fixed point theorem. If you have a map of the place you are in, then no matter how you flip, rotate or crumple it up, as long as there are defined boundaries, no holes, and you don't cut the map, at least one point on the map will be directly over the point it represents. Thank you, Vsauce. Edit. As some have pointed out, exactly one point is over the point it represents. Not at least one. If the map is 1-to-1 scale, you can make it so every point on the map is touching the actual point it refers to.
Crispy is just crunchy but thin.
Finally, what I've been training for. So, crispiness is a term used when chewing, as you said, thin, brittle foods, and the sounds in the mouth are in the 5 kHz range. Crunchy sounds, typified by chewing raw carrots, are generally between 12 kHz. Girl, your name must be Crunchy, 'cause you THICC. Wow. Holy shit, you're right. Flaky is just crispy but thinner.
YouTubers who specialize on reaction videos exist to fulfill our fantasy of showing a video to a friend and them reacting like we want them to.
Removed. Remember when Fine Bros tried to trademark the term react? When you show a real friend a video that you've seen someone react to, just like in the simulation. I feel like that's the exact same, or one of the reasons why the whole Let's Play gameplay genre exists, with entertaining commentary, or why podcasts and Twitch live streams became so popular in the last years. People feel lonely. Think about it. Unbox coffins.
Aquaman's skin is impenetrable by normal blades, bullets and more, which makes you wonder how he got his tattoos in the 2018 movie.
Someone out there in the DC universe is making kryptonite tattoo needles, hoping that Superman wants to get inked someday. He relinquishes his powers while he's having it done. You really have to trust your tattoo artist. He paints them on every week. Those weren't birthmarks. So, he's like a fish dude. Yes. But you didn't let me finish. He also can't be shot or stabbed. So, not like a fish then.
When you think about it, Shakespeare was the result of billions of monkeys trying to write stuff randomly for millions of years.
Wasn't even infinite. Got that shit banged out by 1616. Exclamation mark. We're basically the result of a very inefficient machine learning algorithm. Some weird stuff sure came out. In that sense, Leo DiCaprio owes a lot of his career to Da Vinci and Shakespeare. Writing was invented in 3200 BC, so it only took us 4,764 years. Apes. We're apes, not monkeys.
Bill Murray's character was lucky he got a good night's sleep the night before Groundhog Day. Otherwise he'd have been exhausted the entire time he was stuck in the time loop.
In Happy Death Day she wakes up with a hangover every day. They seem to forget about that aspect in the sequel. In Naked he keeps waking up naked in an elevator. In the Groundhog Day type episode of The Mindy Project, she wakes up every morning, just started her period, with no pads or tampons in her home. Bill Murray may have been lucky, but he has spawned a lot of people who were less lucky in the same predicament. Hey, just imagine him going to bed super drunk and having a huge hangover for days on end. Groundhog Day could have been a very dark movie if Bill Murray's character just decided to get crazy with it and start killing, raping and causing as much destruction as possible to only get a fresh start the next day. I read somewhere that the writers intended him to be stuck for maybe thousands of days. I'm sure he would have just stayed in bed for a bunch of those. That B&B was pretty cozy. Yeah, if he would have only fallen asleep an hour before the alarm went off. I wonder though, if he had never went to sleep that first night, would the stuff have happened like it did?
The larger the download button, the less safe it seems.
Download. The size of the download button defines the amount of cancer your PC is going to get. Button. Give me a link with the whole URL typed out. Pretty sad that it has gotten this bad. The other day I loaded the prepaid card for our canteen at work, and on the touch screen it showed gray button to print a receipt and a green one to not print it. I instinctively clicked the gray one even though I didn't need it. Sometimes I'm amazed at how good I have become at picking the right download button of the 15 different ones.